I'm May. I will introduce you Zabad, the Holistic Cancer Resort. So, a little bit abstract about the research that we have been done doing before. So we was thinking how we can better design cancer treatment center. We focus on the role interior design element that can help the patient to have their well-being, which is color, lighting, entertainment, biophilic elements. Based on that, um, uh, I was thinking to focus on the space has a hospitality setting and also offer like the well-being for the patient. So I did my guidelines based on the research. So I was focusing on good distraction by having like positive distraction element in the space when you arrive, such as like wow minute when you are arriving. Also having like different level of privacy, um, uh, feeling belong to the space, so you can have a control and you can have a reservation for like different spaces during your treatment. Also having like a biophilic elements access to the view and going out and have communication with your family. This is our building, as you know, like Confident Hotel, Miami Beach. Also, our program has been breaking down for like three areas. I made it like common area and dry area, which is has the clinic and the chemotherapy treatment, and the wet area, which is like spa and lounge and fitness. My total square footage is 17,000 square footage. And this is kind of my inspiration images that inspired me in my design. I want to have kind of dynamic transition, rejuvenation in the space. My concept inspired from the sea wave, and also my center name is Zabad. That's mean in Arabic language, the last edge of the sea wave. So I say the implementation of an innovation healing process, which is simplifies and revolution of the sea wave. The waters move in circulation motion and create a new transition and extend it to the beach to illustrate different forces and shape. So this is like kind of illustrate the whole journey through the space. And also I want the space to have like a nice, sophisticated, memorable impression for the patient. From the sea wave, I use the sea wave elements like sequence, centralize, and I try to start like to abstract that and create certain pattern for my design and for my furniture pieces in the space. And also it was inspired me the transition through the space. So when you arrive, you have that wow moment that can heal your mind and give you like a good uh, the positive distraction, and then you have your transition sequence through the process, which is heal your body and your spirit, and then you have feeling belong to the space, which is reflect your healing and your growth through this process. This is my conceptual model, also focusing on mind, body, and spirit. This is how I built it. So as you can see, it's like when you arrive to the space, you have that good distraction, focusing in your mind, and then you have that transition by having healing through like chemotherapy and other treatment, and then doing massage, physical classes, and then that I use this mirror to reflect your growth through this process. This is kind of another diagram that I made to understand like the transition between the spaces. This is my floor plan. So once you arrive here, you have your reception desk, kind of architecture built in seating. I made it. And then here's the manager office, security, and then here is all the treatment, consultant room, triage, and check-in reception desk that helps you to go to check in through your treatment. Here is IV room, a private chemotherapy, communal chemotherapy space, another private chemotherapy. I divide all the medical areas by having this commercial area, which is herbal pharmacy / juice bar. So it's kind of like divide them from the noise by having this area here. Then here, the fluent take you to the spa lounge here. You have the gym, 3 studio classes, and then here's the spa lounge, having like massages room, sauna, and lockers room. And out there I used, out there I used the cabana that it's already existing from the hotel, but I tweak it a little bit to have the steam room inside it and make it more VIP feeling. Here is my RCP, has like some of the picture that I made it from the pattern, and also ensure the circulation path for the space. This is just kind of giving a knowledge how does the space look like. This is a section cut through the whole space. So it's cutting through here, the lutein section, and then the cross-check section cut through here. I will have it like cut it off when I go through the space. So this is kind of my materiality board for the loungy area, which is the common area. It has like a different texture and different color to. So this is the main entry. So when you arrive, you have that, I told you about the wow moment. So I want like to be light, color, and feel welcoming into the space. And here's the reception desk, just in case you need some guidance. Here's the corridor after you passing the reception desk. There's here the main corridor here that has the conference room and access to the herbal pharmacy, and also the access for the juice bar from the outside here. The dry area, which has the most medical treatment rooms. So I changed the material a little bit to make it more like subtle with the space criteria. So it's more leather, wood, and metal, and takes out some patterns. So this is here, the check-in reception desk next to the triage and the consulting room. And here's the chemotherapy. So this is an elevation to show the space. Here is the chemo lounge next to the juice bar and the herbal pharmacy, and also next to the chemotherapy lounge. So that can family waiting there, or they can wait inside the room. This is inside the juice bar, so I try to make it more communal, loungy and nice to sit on it. This is a herbal pharmacy elevation. So I create certain display for that area and small sink to try. And here's the back of the cafe. It has like a hanging seat to feel like homey and a little bit private. Okay. Here's the chemotherapy lounge, chemotherapy room, the communal one. I have 2 seats that I've been creating like to feel more private, and it has a view for the outside. So you can have access for the biophilic elements, and you have all the controllability to the space for people who likes to communicate with our other people, because some people coming without family or friends, so they don't want like to be in their room for 8 hours. This is how is this seat work. So the patient has all controllability through this. seating or through this chemo bay. This is the private chemotherapy area, which is more like private. You can have it alone with your family or by yourself, fully controlled by lighting and TV screen and all these cabinets to have your stuff on it. This is more for wet area, which is the fitness and spa. This is the exit corridor here after the ramp. When you come in, so there's a, by the middle of the corridor here, you have the reception desk if you want to ask about something or you want to like need some directions. Here on the right side, the classes and the gym. This is the spa lounge area, which has the massages and the sauna. You can wait until they give you like a call. This is the massage room. So I have been creating kind of like a different style to make it more sophisticated and feel special. And also, this is kind of a new activity that I have been added to the space, is called the Moroccan Bath. We use it a lot in the Middle East. It's kind of massages, but in a different way. So you can have the whole space, like a whole process. You can have your massage and then you can have your Moroccan Bath. So it's like accessible and controllable for the patient. This is like the sauna area for the space. And this is the outside cabana, how I like used it. I add the steam room inside it and small jacuzzi, so the person can have communicate with other people or with friends and family and do not feel isolated. So it's kind of like resort and healing at the same time. And adding on the this aspect, I add another luxury treatment on board on the San Lorenzo yacht. We will see it right now. This is an isometric to show how is this cabana working together. And this is the luxury treatment services. I have been added. I add like kind of special treatment on board. So it's by San Lorenzo Yacht. I have a small video. I wish it's working here. I'm gonna show it here, sorry, because it doesn't wanna. Yeah, that's it. Like, this is the floor plan for the yacht that can be rented and have the reservation hourly and daily by the people and their friend, or you can have your classes, your physical treatment inside and on board. This is the entry in the main deck, the main salon, and at the gym inside the board, and also massages room. And you can have like couple doing massages room or your friend, your family together. And this is like a movable partition on board. This is like a VIP suite for staying overnight. And that's it.
You're on the clock.
Well, I had a call to go to, but I just decided that I'm just gonna do that later because this was so captivating. Like, I have to see the end of this. Wow. Wait, so am I missing something? Is this like a yacht design on top of the original design?
The square footage, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Just me.
Okay. I mean, it's very comprehensive. I think you definitely went above and beyond in terms of programming. And it's a gorgeous space. It makes me feel like I'm transferred into a different world when I step inside your hotel and healthcare space. It doesn't even feel like healthcare at all. So it's impressive. I do wonder, did you have to keep any of those historical elements, like historical preservation elements, that the rest of the projects sort of kept, like the terrazzo floors or the blocks? Were those elements that you had to keep for this project, or that was just a choice, design choice?
Well, I have asked my professor and they told me like it's up to you, but basically I didn't, like, for example, for the terrazzo on the corridor, I haven't been touched it. Like, I rendered the other side. So
got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you incorporated the terrazzo.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, it was just a question because it is definitely, the interior is very different from the architecture. I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just very different. And then, okay. So materiality is very sophisticated. I'm a little bit concerned with the tiny details and the intricacies of some of the decorative items in the healthcare space, just because of cleanability. But again, that's not to say that you can't have design languages like that. You just have to sort of treat it in a way that can be more infection control.
Yeah.
And then my only question, I guess the thing that stood out the most for me are the chemo bays. The private ones are so grand. And then there's the social ones that almost look like cubicles, like workstation cubicles. My question would be, like, why such a difference in hierarchy, maybe, in design? Like, what would make people say, I want to be out here instead of in one of the grand rooms, unless they just don't want to be by themselves? But these cubicles sort of separate the people from a communal relationship anyways. So it's like, I'm not going to be able to talk to my neighbors out here in these little cubicles. So that sort of doesn't give me the advantage of being outside with all the other people. But then it also doesn't give me the benefit of having this beautiful room if I went to the private space. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I just like made it as there's some people who likes to be like, at least not by themselves on the same room. So I made it like that. And if you notice, like, all these partition can be more movable and controllable through the space, even though if you cannot see the other person. So I made it by also this way, so people, if they don't can have an access to the other private room, so they can have kind of like semi-private in these cubicles. So it's not very, very communal, you know?
Yeah, I guess that would have to be like a different tier, I suppose. because it's like you have the private space, but then this is not really a communal space. It's more like in between.
Yeah,
right?
I just want to show like these two options.
I mean, everything else is so beautiful. And then you went above and beyond with the exterior luxury items, the pools and the jacuzzis, and then the yacht program. So, I mean, I commend you on all the hard work you put into this. This is really cool.
Oh, and you forgot to mention, she started with the wave and finished with the yacht. So, I mean, that's connecting the dots.
Talk about concept integration.
That was real smart. Yeah, it was cool. Good job. This is excellent. And I mean, and I'm not versed, but you know, you brought sort of the Islamic sort of vocabulary, you know, brilliantly into again that wave party and the flow of the plan. That was, you know, a great piece of work. I mean, this is very admirable. A couple of things I would absolutely say as improvements, and one I agree with you. I mean, those are great design features that you put out here, but they're features in a room. The room wasn't designed for that, and you know, it's a beautiful room design, and you put two pieces of, let's say, furniture that were well designed, but there's no integration between those pieces. So that can be further explored. The second thing that you might, you know, that will be take it to the next level of sophistication is you brought elements from Islamic vocabulary that would entice you to not do flips. And you could have explored, you know, the richness of the space with more morphological ceilings, just like what you would expect with, you know, those arches and those sort of vocabulary. So that could also bring you another level of, you know, space, you know, richness that would really take it to the next level, though it's really excellent already. And to that point, and that's a great exercise. I thought when you took it to the boat, to the yacht, and that's to tell you from personal experience, back in school, I took a full year of boat design to learn how to design in 3 dimensions. Back then, when I went to school, believe it or not, there was not a lot of computational design. So that was how you force yourself to learn how to design in 3 dimensions. Because designing inside a boat, you've got to take advantage of every single space, every single corner. So you do, you know, sections of everything and try to understand how to design space, not only in plan. And you sort of miss that a little bit when you show the spaces inside the boat being just like regular sort of cubic rooms. So that volumetric, I know we're because you showed such a great standard, I'm taking, sort of giving you a reference point for sort of the criticism into a different standard, which is that, but you know, that will have really delivered into a whole different level. But you know, again, this is great piece of work.
Thank you.